As the new administration begins their first week, the newly elected Congresswoman from North Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene, has filed articles of impeachment against President Biden. She's accusing him of abuse of power during his term as vice president. Now, Channel 3's Mary Frances Hoots has been learning just how these articles are different from the ones filed against former President Donald Trump just last week. She joins us now in the studio with more on this. Mary Frances, what did you learn?
Latrice, Marjorie Greene said in her articles President Biden is a threat to national security and he must be immediately impeached. It doesn't appear she's received any support for the articles filed yesterday. A big difference, a political science expert at UTC says, between articles filed against Trump and this one is evidence.
Just filed articles of impeachment on President Joe Biden. We'll see how this goes.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, selected by North Georgians to head to Congress last November, has been very outspoken on her goals to get the Biden administration out, even before the transfer of power. Just 2 days into his presidency, she filed articles to impeach him.
The Democrats, of course, would not vote for that, and I imagine a number of Republicans would not.
She has not garnered any support from other members of Congress. This likely will never make it to the floor for a vote. But filing an article of impeachment is a privileged process, so any House member can call a question of privilege.
Congresswoman Greene could, on the House floor, call for a vote to consider the impeachment.
This isn't out of the norm for someone in Congress to try to impeach a president so quickly. When Trump took office, a Democratic congressman out of Texas did the same.
Submitted articles of impeachment, one very early on, I believe the first few days of the Trump administration.
His Democratic colleagues rejected it. The House will now send Trump's articles of impeachment to the Senate Monday. A big difference why these are moving along in Greene's art is lack of evidence.
The evidence was on display for many people to see, whereas for Greene, there's really nothing outside of a quote, which as it has explained, it was taken out of context.
Channel 3 reached out to Tennessee Senators Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty to ask if they support Greene's efforts and did not hear back. Congressman Chuck Fleischmann, who appeared with Greene at a campaign rally for Kelly Loeffler back in November, also declined to comment. We asked the professor if it likely will never make it to the floor for a vote, then what is Greene's goal here? He says she's been seen fundraising off of it, saying all members of Congress care about re-election. Greene has made a lot of headlines since taking office for refusing to wear a mask on the House floor, calling it oppression. She's also the first public supporter of a QAnon conspiracy theory elected to Congress and recently had her Twitter account shut down due to post about the Capitol riot. She declined our request today for an interview. Live in the studio, Mary Frances Hoots, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.